No one's on yet. We're waiting. It's so many people there is ridiculous.
Wow, that's nuts.
I wonder if it's more people. It seems like more people there than Detroit, but maybe that's just me. Maybe when I hit that thing, then I don't know. We'll see what happens. What's up? Welcome on in. Ready for some 2025 NFL draft? Let's go, Pats. Hoping for a big pick at number 4, and we hope it's not a blunder for the New England Patriots. Paul, who do you think the Patriots are going to take at number 4? Who's your hope?
And all the Vegas odds and everything have Will Campbell going to the Pats at 4. But personally, and I know everyone in Pats Nation is wanting to build around Drake May, but I think Abdul Carter is the best player in this draft 100%. By a long shot. And if he fell to number 4, or if the Giants are looking to trade down, I think that would be best case scenario for the Patriots.
100%. Yesterday we looked at a video of what was the chance that the Patriots got Abdul Carter at number 4, and everything you looked at, all the mock drafts that were thrown into a simulator, basically give them a 12% chance. Now, like Paul said, again, Paul, Aaron, I think it's going to be Will Campbell. If I'm having to put money on this right now, I think it's Will Campbell. No questions asked. They need a left tackle. A lot of people concerned about the arm length, but again, I don't think arm length is an issue. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So that might change. We'll see what happens. Again, Mike Vrabel said there are going to be fireworks this draft. So what are those fireworks going to be? Now, Paul, I got to ask you, you're a Michigan fan. What are your thoughts on Mason Graham? And do you think that is maybe a long stretch, but what do you think?
I mean, I love Mason Graham. The dude is an animal. I think if the Patriots leave with Mason Graham in this draft, it's a win. Guy just completely wrecks your game plan. You're not running up the middle when Mason Graham's there. I don't think that's a bad pick. But he's not going to change the game like Abdul Carter is. And like we were saying earlier, goal number 1 right now is to build around Drake May. So personally, even though I'm a big Mason Graham fan and a big Michigan fan, I think I'd rather see Will Campbell.
And yeah, I think that would be the smartest pick, especially after them picking up Milton Williams, smart pick from the Philadelphia Eagles, paying him a boatload of money. And then on top of that, being able to have hopefully Christian Barmore come back. Now, fun fact for you, while you're watching this draft, the people that are right behind Mike Greenberg, Riddick, Booger McFarland, Mel Kiper, those people sitting there, because I was at the draft last year, you're dropping about $1,000 for those seats right there. And so, but then they only let in certain people to come in there. And so, like, if you are a true fan, but the nice thing is, when we were at the draft, I was telling this to my wife earlier, you stand in the same spot if you want to be close at the fence. And we stood there for 8 hours. 8 hours. It was forever. And you're just getting crammed in, no space. Those people are at least sitting down. Listen, $1,000 is a lot of money, but I would be willing to pay $1,000 to sit down. There was moments. Mm-hmm. And so, again, Will Campbell, Paul, number 1 pick, who's it going to be?
I think everybody in the world knows Cam Ward's going number 1. No secrets there. Personally, I'm not a huge Cam Ward fan, but I think that works out well for the Patriots, that teams are always desperate for QBs. We got our guy, so let them take it. I hope Shedeur goes before the Patriots too. Give us all our options.
Yeah, that would be ideal if Shedeur went before, because then that would mean either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. I think, in my opinion, it's going to be Cam Ward, number 1, Number 2 is going to be Travis Hunter. The Browns need a weapon. And then on top of that, I think you're going to see Abdul Carter go to the Giants. He posted a picture of Lawrence Taylor, all these speculations around that. And then the Patriots will be left. Oh, and here comes Roger Goodell.
Boo.
Of course.
Why is he on a bike?
Showing he can ride a bike. What if he went right off the stage? That'd be kind of funny. Oh, I get it. The whole Green Bay thing. The whole Green Bay thing where they ride the bike in during training. Yeah, there they all are.
Uh-huh.
How many times do you think they practice this?
More than they should have.
More than they should have. 100%. Look at them. Oh, and of course, Lil Wayne. What makes no sense with Lil Wayne is literally from New Orleans. I don't know how he's a Packers fan. Someone could tell me, but I have no idea how he's a Packers fan.
I'm guessing that's why he got snubbed from the Super Bowl and they had Kendrick Lamar instead.
Yeah, probably. But again, it's crazy to see. Here he is, the man of the hour.
Hey, welcoming on the booze.
Oh, love
He's
the booze.
used to it now.
Love the booze.
Boo me all the way to my $1 billion mansion.
Yeah, right. He does not. He'll take all the booze. The entrance in Detroit was a lot cooler when there was smoke, there's all this stuff. Eminem came out, and it was a cool back and forth with all the guys in Detroit. I'm trying to see if I see any Patriots fans in the crowd. Any Patriots jerseys? I haven't seen one yet. If anyone's seen one. Gosh, and you got people in the stadium too.
I wonder if they're like putting it on the screen. That's cool.
Man, that is huge. Think of our society. It's at the point. This isn't even a game. This is literally just a draft. And how many people come out to watch that is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't see. I haven't seen a Patriots jersey yet. True story. Last year when I was at the draft, I saw a guy running around in an Aaron Hernandez jersey. That was interesting. Of course. Kicker,
Mason Crosby.
Kicker getting some love. All right.
Who was that last one? I didn't hear it.
There we go. Wheezy. Making it on there. This is scripted. Oh, wow. 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 Bears getting shade. Wow. Wow. Disrespectful.
Yeah, what a moment, though. Instantly divides the crowd by bringing up Trump, but then brings them all together.
Brings them all together to hate on the Bears. Yeah, we're ready for the show to get started. Let's roll. Tennessee Titans, let's be real. It's Cam Ward out of Miami. Cam Ward, if you don't know anything about Cam Ward, journeyman in the NFL or in college football, was at Incarnate Word If you've ever heard of that school, believe it or not, I'm doing this all off the dome, by the way. Note, Paul, is there any notes in front of me?
No.
Nope. Incarnate Word. And then from there, he transferred to Washington State. From Washington State, he transferred to Miami. So he's at 3 different schools. Again, I agree with Paul. I don't think Cam Ward is anything to write home about. Again, we look at the quarterback class last year. The quarterback class last year was significantly better than this class. You look at number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. Now, much like Drake May did not have an offensive line, so you got to give him the benefit of the doubt there as well. He was thrown into the fire. And then you look at Jaden Daniels, brought the commies, which we love to call them the commies. Look at the houses just right across the street. That's crazy. Cool. And then you have the commies who literally are have Jaden Daniels. They go to the playoffs. And then you have Drake May, who really sparked the New England Patriots. That offense ended up making a Pro Bowl, even though there was people who ended up saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm not going to go to the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is a Pro Bowl. And then you have Bo Nix. Michael Penix is getting a shot as well in Atlanta after the whole Kirk Cousins debacle. Who else am I missing?
Quarterback-wise?
Yeah, quarterback-wise from last year.
Spencer Rattler last year?
Spencer Rattler was last year. That guy is either you think he's when he played in college at Oklahoma and South Carolina, you either thought this man is winning the Heisman or this guy may be the worst quarterback in college football.
But in my opinion, I think if you put Cam Ward in last year's class, he's for sure 4th. He might even be behind like Penix and Nix. I feel like a year ago, nobody was really talking about him. Even during the season, nobody was really talking about him. And then you get like your typical off-season moment where somebody's got to be the number 1 pick, and all of a sudden everybody loves Cam Ward and has always loved Cam Ward. But truthfully, he's never really been that highly of a rated prospect, which is probably why he started off at an Incarnate Word. But
right. I mean, but there's also a reason too. A lot of times when you go to the transfer portal, it's one of 2 things. It's you're not good and you're not getting playing time at the school you're at, or you're good enough where it's like, why the heck am I at Incarnate Word? I can go play big time college football at a Power 5 school, a Power 4 school technically now. And so, because there's a lot of kids that think, grass is always greener on the other side. For Cam Ward, that was true. That is not true for every single person who goes to the transfer portal. And I believe right now the total transfer portal is in like the thousands. It's insane how many people are in the transfer portal. In general, I know this isn't a college football podcast, but they need to get the transfer portal under control.
Yeah, Nico Amalivia needs to be the final straw with the portal. But Dean Spiro, I'm with you. Cam Ward's going to go number 1, but I think everybody watching knows he's definitely not the number 1 guy. Probably not even a top 10, 15 talent in this draft.
Honestly, if I was, hear me out here. If I was the Tennessee Titans, my play would be this. I'm going to go get the best player in this draft. That is, in my opinion, as Paul said earlier, Abdul Carter out of Penn State, the edge rusher. I'll get him, and then next year, I'm assuming I'm going to let Will Levis do his thing. Guy's crazy. I'm going to let him do his thing. Chances are he's going to crash and burn, I would assume. And then you have a chance at Arch Manning. Listen, I know he didn't go to Tennessee, but for a fact, Tennessee Titans fans would go, they would sell their soul for a jersey that was a Tennessee Titans jersey and had the last name Manning on it. You know that for a fact. So I think that would be a smart move. The question is, Quinn Ewers, he's in the draft, right? Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he would be a first round draft pick. Obviously not. And so when we look at the draft next year, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think that would be an interesting move by him. They all listen. They're always dragging out the pick, always.
He gets 6 months to decide, but they're still going to take that last 10 minutes.
I would say I predict, Dean. We were just laughing at your comment. I think I'm going to be interested to see Sanders. I hear one of two things, and I want to hear what Paul has to say. One thing I hear is he's going to get draft, or he's going to be the real deal. I've heard other people that think, and this is my opinion, I think he's actually going to drop in this draft, potentially as far back as to the Steelers, who need a quarterback. And I think a lot of teams are going to actually pass on him. That is my thought. Again, you look at the Giants, they go and pick Russell Wilson up. So the question is going to become, what are they going to do? So, Paul, what do you think? Do you think Shedeur Sanders?
Originally, I think a lot of people felt that Shedeur was going to go number 3 to the Giants, but I'm trying to pull up the Vegas odds right now for the draft. Last I saw earlier today, I think his over-under was like 16.5. So Vegas is definitely picking that Shedeur falls today, and I think everybody kind of has him matched up with the Steelers. Lord knows they're not trotting out Mason Rudolph at QB for Myles Garrett to hit with his helmet again.
Right. That'd be hilarious, though. Hey, Jake, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining. Thank all you guys for joining. It really means a lot to me. Hopefully it's going to be a fun night. Maybe there's some changes. Maybe there's some surprises. But again, I think these first 4 picks, I'm going to say it before Goodell comes out real quick. Cam Ward, 2nd, Travis Hunter, 3rd, Abdul Carter, then I think it's Will Campbell.
Yeah, I read Mel Kiper earlier said the same thing, and he said the draft starts at number 5. It sounds like that's pretty much a done deal. All right, Roger, what do you got for us? Yeah, no surprise there.
No surprise for the Tennessee Titans. Going quarterback, Will Levis is over. I don't know what's going to happen with his mayonnaise. What do you call it? Sponsorship.
Yeah,
it's done. It's done. He's toast. He is toast.
He is crying in a bath of mayonnaise right now, wondering why he continued to throw the ball to the other team all season. Oh, we got a trade.
Jaguars in 2026. The Jaguars in turn get the number 2 pick, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick. The Jaguars are on the clock. The youngest general manager in the NFL, James Gladstone, at the age of
wow, the Jaguars making a big move up to number 2.
Oh, jeez. I did not expect that. Sorry, we weren't talking there. We were trying to listen to Adam Schefter there.
Do we think Travis Hunter? Is that what they're going out? Or that's got to be Abdul Carter.
I
wouldn't give up that much for Hunter. I would for Carter.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest. Well, who was it they drafted the year that Aiden Hutchinson went number 2 to the Lions? It was Walker.
Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, correct?
Yeah.
So you get Abdul Carter, Trayvon Walker. Giants most likely take Travis Hunter. Dude, I don't even know what to think right now. That was surprising. It has to be Abdul Carter. I would be very surprised. Obviously, it could be Travis Hunter. The Browns could say, listen, we're willing to give that up. The Browns now at number 5. The big question is, I really thought, like, man, they need a weapon on that offense. Who is it going to be? I truly believe that now at wide receiver, maybe they're looking at McMillan out of Arizona. I think he's an absolute stud. Paul, what are your thoughts?
I wonder if it's possible. I mean, who are the Browns rolling out Kenny Pickett at QB right now?
I don't even know, man.
I wonder if they're trading down to maybe take it, like they knew they were
Shedeur
safe to trade down and take Shedeur, or if they're trying to gain more picks so they can trade up late in the first and get like Jackson Dart or something like that. But Man,
I don't even. All right, who do you think the Jags are taking right here? Comment below right now. Who do you think the Jags are taking?
Man, Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas. What a pairing that would be.
That would be crazy. That would be. Again, I don't think the Travis Lawrence era is over in New England. You got to think they have a new GM there. They have a new head coach there. They were in the playoffs not that long ago. I don't know. Get another weapon. So it's possible it is Travis Hunter. You know what? I'm going Travis Hunter. I'm going Travis Hunter.
We've sold him. Travis Hunter.
I'm going Travis Hunter. Genty to Cleveland. That would be interesting. Let's see here. Jags are taking Ashton Genty. I do love Genty.
If they traded up to number 2 for Genty, that would be.
Yeah,
I think he's a special player. But this is such a deep running back class. Like if you wait to the second round, get like a Travion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins. Who's the Iowa guy?
Iowa guy. What are you talking about?
Their running back.
Iowa's running back?
Caleb Johnson. Is that it?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think he's really good. Like Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. Like if you're giving up first round picks to take a running back in this deep of a class, then you deserve to be as dysfunctional as the Jaguars are.
Jeez. And then look at this. The Browns get the 5th overall pick, so they swap 2 for 5. The pick is in, by the way. They get this year's 2nd and 4th, so they switch each other's 2nd and 4th round picks, and then they get the 1st round pick of next year. Wow. Maybe they're really hoping Joe Flacco does something. Who knows? And go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying I'm looking through Twitter to try to keep us up to date on some of the biggest news. Diana Rossini is saying the Broncos are making an aggressive push to get into the top 10. I think we're in for a wild night here.
Wow. Who would you think the Broncos want? McMillan?
Maybe Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren would be really,
yeah,
tight end would be really sweet.
Oh, they just got Evan Ingram,
But still, though,
yeah,
Tyler Warren
he's a special player.
There you go. Travis Hunter. Is his girlfriend by him? I don't see. Maybe not. Probably not. They're excited. I think it is Travis Hunter. I think it is. I really do. What's their head coach's name? Cohen?
Liam Cohen.
Cohen. He's a goofball. Yeah, he seems like a goofball. Look, they had to pay these Jaguar fans.
There's no real Jaguar.
Yeah, I don't. Literally in the wild, I've never met a Jaguars fan.
And that one guy had the cut off sleeves. Like if you're from Florida and you're coming up to Green Bay, you're not in cut off.
No,
sleeves.
you're in a down jacket.
They found a homeless man on the road and slapped some Jaguars clothes on him.
Oh, here we go. Again, I'm going Travis Hunter.
I think
right.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be Hunter. You probably sell yourself on giving up those picks knowing that he plays both ways. You're kind of getting 2 players with him.
Oh, man, if we got to go through this whole thing for the Jaguars at the second pick.
Make us sweat it out.
I want to be respectful of the Walter Payton Award. Don't get me wrong.
But it feels like they could have just tweeted this and told us to pick.
All right, what do we got? Travis Hunter, it has to be. Here we go.
Never understood what Duval means.
Is that
their county?
I think it's the county.
Why do they all yell at each other?
I don't know. I think it's something they're trying to start to do. Maybe just seem cool is my guess. Nick, that's a good point. They do need a corner and a wide receiver. Abdul to the Patriots would be unreal. That'd be a grand slam.
What's interesting with the Giants is like they just took Kayvon Thibodeau a couple years ago. He's struggled a little with injury, but he's been solid. And then they also just traded for Brian Burns. Like, edge rusher is not really a need for them. I know a lot of people think he's going there because he's the best player and best player available, but they don't need an edge rusher.
Here we go.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Come on. Travis Hunter. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you called it.
Wow. Second overall pick, Travis Hunter. Wow. You know, for a while, I thought Travis Hunter might drop to the Patriots. Now the question becomes, the New York Giants, do they go and get their franchise quarterback, or do they get the best player in the draft, which is Abdul Carter? What happens? What do you guys think? Who are the Giants going to pick right here?
I think it's going to be Carter, but their offensive line is bad. Is there a chance they go Will Campbell?
I don't know. A lot of people are even saying Will Campbell. A lot of people said Will Campbell at number 4 is a stretch.
And that's just because everybody's so concerned about his arms. But like you watched the tape last year, he was the best offensive tackle, and it really wasn't that close. He's legit.
100% legit.
Like if the Giants don't have a lot going for them. Like their offense is garbage. They got Russ and Jameis competing for the starting job. The one thing they have is a really good D-line. I mentioned their edge rushers. I forgot about Dexter Lawrence. Like they already get to the passer really well. It's like the only single thing on their team that they do well. So why are you taking Abdul Carter if you're them?
Hey, listen, I agree with that. 2, if they pick Will Campbell, it is a no-brainer. Mike Vrabel himself should run to the podium and say Abdul Carter. Like that is a grand slam. But again, I think this is a smart move by Jacksonville. Now you have, you just watching these highlights too. And, again, I love college football. I watched Travis Hunter play at Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl, so the HBCU National Championship. And yes, you're going against, not Power 4 players necessarily, but he still put on an absolute clinic. There is also a reason, though I think, and people might agree with me, that Ashton Genty, in my opinion, should have won the Heisman.
For sure.
Travis Hunter is a unicorn. Yeah, he's a player that playing how he plays, we just really have not seen anything quite like it. The amount of snaps he's played on each side of the ball and how dominant he has been on each side of the ball. And
he's been insistent that he wants to play both sides of the ball when he's in the NFL. Pick is in for the Giants.
Who do you got, Paul? Who do you got?
What are the chances they're like, you know what? We made a big mistake letting Saquon go. Let's go Ashton Genty.
Listen, I'm going to guess. I'm going to go with my gut, and my gut. See, look they're trying to start that whole Duval thing. I think that it will be Abdul Carter. I think that's a no-brainer for them. But again, it could be Shador. It could be Will Campbell, I guess, technically, if they really were high on him. But they really need a quarterback. Russell Wilson, I don't think, is going to do a thing for the Giants. Not a thing. And they're already in a very tough division. They're down at the bottom of that division with the Cowboys. And the Cowboys are finally going to do something at some point, surely. And so, I don't know. Look at the Patriots. Think of the Patriots. The Patriots go out and get their quarterback, and now it's building around him. The sooner you can get your quarterback, again, Russell Wilson will not be their future quarterback. The sooner you can move on and make something of the team, I guess you could say.
And I think the thing with Russ too, like if they had just stuck with Jameis, then you see that as like all right, you know what? We're going to go out here. We're going to be fun, but we're going to win 2 games and we're going to go for Arch Manning. But Russ, while I don't think he's nearly capable of taking them to even a 500 record, he's good enough that they're not going to be going for Arch Manning next year with Russ. They need their quarterback, and Russ is probably a good guy to kind of mentor a guy like Shedeur. I think it's possible. All right, the pick's been in for like 5 minutes,
but they got to draw this. They got to draw this out for so long. There's Dable.
Oh, he's rubbing his hands together like he saw a plate of chicken wings. He's excited.
Listen, I'm locking it right now. It's Abdul Carter. I'm telling you, the Lawrence Taylor picture. Even though he grew up an Eagles fan, he wants to be there. He wants to be in the Giants.
Oh, Carter,
Yep.
That was smart. Bummer for the Patriots, but that was a good pick for the Giants.
Yeah, it's again. We watched the dominance of the Philadelphia Eagles against the Kansas City Chiefs and how they absolutely just demolished their offensive line. Again, I think you're going to start seeing with NFL teams that they are going to just try to bolster that defensive line as much as possible. And again, the Eagles did it. I think the Giants, they're going to try to do it now with Abdul Carter. And now for the Patriots, the big question becomes for the Patriots, what are they going to do? Nick, I don't disagree. I think they could trade back, but the question is it going to be worth it to trade back?
And there's 2 or 3 offensive tackles that I wouldn't have a problem with the Patriots leaving this draft with. The Membu or whatever his name is from Missouri and Banks from Texas A&M. If they could trade back to like 9 or 10 and add a 2nd and 4th round pick or something like that and still pull a good offensive tackle, I think that's a great move. And I don't think we should discuss this right now because obviously Patriots are on the clock, but at some point today we'll discuss Kayvon Thibodeau. There were rumors about him getting traded if the Giants went with Abdul Carter. What would you guys think you'd be willing to give up to land a talented young pass rusher like that? I'm guessing you wouldn't need to give up more than like a 2nd or 3rd. He could be interesting.
No,
he'll be on the block for sure.
Yeah. He for sure could be. I mean, again, Abdul Carter dropping to number 3, going to New York. That was a great pick. And honestly, what the Jaguars did too, the Jaguars, they have a lot of pieces. That division they're in isn't anything special. They can make the playoffs next year. And if that's the case, you make the playoffs. Let's say you make the playoffs so that you just gave up a late 1st round pick. Like, okay, not ideal, but okay. It is what it is. But again, if they trade back, again, I give it just a couple more minutes, and if not, I think they just make a pick, and I think that pick is Will Campbell.
And NJ, I do think next year's O-line is probably a little bit better, but the problem is a lot of times O-line takes a year or 2 to develop. So if you're waiting till next year to get your tackle to protect May, and then it takes him another year before he's adjusted to the league, you're talking about Drake May's 5th year option coming up before he truly is protected at left tackle. They got to get a guy this year.
100%. They got to protect Drake May. It's as simple as that. Protect the quarterback. Again, that doesn't mean if they don't trade out of this spot, that does not mean they won't try to trade back in to the first round. And so now the Patriots are officially, based on the banner, on the clock. Shadur Sanders not even in his room with the mics because he's going to do what he wants to do and all this stuff. So, Nick, I don't disagree. I think trading would be the smart move. The question is, are you going to get what you want out of the trade? Are you going to trade back a little bit? You look at what the Browns just got. And the Browns, maybe they go for someone like Mason Graham. Again, I think it's possible they get a McMillan out of Arizona. And of course they go to commercial break, but it's possible we come back and they've traded back and maybe they get someone like Kelvin Banks out of Texas that a lot of people actually have higher than Will Campbell. There's Membu from Missouri that we've talked about plenty of times. But we'll see. Regardless, they are going to try to bolster this offensive line in this draft.
I'll be honest. I just saw who the Patriots picked on Twitter. Do we want it or do we
No,
want it?
No,
Okay.
I don't want it.
All right.
I don't want it. Is it? It can't be a trade if you already. How did you see it on Twitter already?
They're just in front of everybody.
There's someone.
They're on pick 10 already.
They're on pick.
No, they're not that far ahead,
they are pretty far ahead. I want to ask, but I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. No one go look. Don't ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I spoil it.
I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but it's like when the Harry Potter books came out and people would read through it and then they go to the lines of everyone waiting for it and scream out like Dumbledore dies or something. Don't do that. Don't be that guy in the chat. Don't be that guy in the chat. But it is pretty rough that they went to a commercial right before. It has to be Will Campbell.
They know we're nervous.
Don't say anything, Paul.
Yeah, I won't tell.
Maybe it is a trade. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. We'll see. Here's my question. So Nick says trading back for Warren, then trading back for Simmons. Okay. What if you guys traded back? Ideally, what position would you want to trade back to? We talking still top 10. We talking top 15. What would be the ideal spot in the first round to trade back into, and who would you want? Comment below.
To me, I want blue chip players. So I think trading back is good, but I'm not trying to trade back to 15 or 20 and get blue chip players next year, 2 years from now. I'm maybe looking at 7 or 8, taking either Membu or Banks and adding a second round pick this year. Let's start. Drake May needs help now, not next year. Or I guess not 2 years from now. He needs it now. Let's get it to him this draft.
Yep. You better not be dropping any hints when you say stuff like that.
I didn't say.
He didn't say anything.
Hints.
He didn't say anything. NJ, so round 10 to 15, yeah, because you're probably going to be able to get Kelvin Banks there. The question becomes, we know the Patriots played the Chicago Bears, and their offensive line was absolutely horrid. You thought the Patriots had a bad offensive line. The Chicago Bears may have had a worse one. And so it's possible that they get someone like a Kelvin Banks. They're at number 10, correct?
Yeah.
And so that's very possible. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I would think it's worth it if you trade back into the top 10 or 15 and then get another second. That would be solid. I wouldn't disagree with that. But again, I think listen, gun to my head, I think it's Will Campbell. And I think they probably we might be delayed. Who knows? Here we go. Yep. Yeah.
Will
It's
Campbell.
smart move.
It's not the sexy pick, but it's
No,
the right pick.
it's not. Listen, trust the process. Trust Mike Vrabel. Trust this organization. Yeah, there's no reason to be mad. Now, hear me out on this. Is when we look at the Patriots. That was pretty funny. That must be his agent.
Yeah.
First of all, the suit, very interesting with the pinstripes and kind of the greenish. We'll go with it. But again, a lot of people issue with his arm length. I don't think that's going to be an issue. The man played in the SEC, started for 3 years at LSU, played dominant teams. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, there's about to be 2 Georgia edge rushers drafted in the top 15, and he handled his business great against them. He's legit. He might need to stand a little closer to Goodell to shake his hands, but he's going to be an elite NFL player.
He'll have to stand 3.5/8 of an inch or whatever closer to Goodell but here's the deal. Yes, JT, you're 100% right. We have a left tackle now. Yeah, I realize we're behind a little bit. We're delayed on YouTube, just delays you. That's part of it. But listen,
size doesn't matter. It's how you use it.
Hey, Paul. All right.
Talking about arms.
Yeah. But every single person watching here knows deep down what you meant. Deep down, they know what you meant. And so second round, we're going to get to that NJ in just a second. But listen, a lot of people are saying, well, Aaron, how do you know Will Campbell's going to turn out? Listen, he's going to be fine. He is going to be fine. Mike Vrabel, Doug Monroe, literally said they trust this guy. They saw him play. They needed a left tackle. Remember when the Detroit Lions got Penei Sewell? Again, not a sexy pick, but a necessity. We need to remember that. Big time necessity. And so you got to trust Mike Vrabel. NJ, right? He's a big boy. He's going to be fine. He's going to be protecting, Drake May's blind side. We're going to be good. Look they're excited. We're good to go. Everyone calm down. Could they trade it back in? Yes, 100%. We'll see. Cleveland Browns, my guess, McMillan. Paul, go ahead.
McMillan, oh, that's bold. I think you might be right. They need a receiver. I talked about maybe trading back for Shedeur here, but I don't see it. I think they're probably going receiver here. Maybe Mason Graham.
Mason Graham is again. There's a lot of people who had Mason Graham as their the third best prospect in this draft. So maybe they're like, listen, we weren't sold on Travis Hunter. Maybe they don't want the drama. Maybe they realize, listen, we need more guys on rookie contracts because we paid Deshaun Watson a king's ransom, and it's not turning out to be a happy ending.
No pun intended.
No pun intended there. And so, again, Patriots, comment below. Good move by drafting Will Campbell. Again, I think it is. I think it's smart. And moving forward, you got to start, as Mike Vrabel said, start from the trenches and move out.
And I'm going to officially, right here on Sports Talk Patriots, start the Patriots trade back into the first round for Luther Burden bandwagon. I think the dude's a stud. Get him in the first for that fifth-year option. Get Drake his left tackle and wide receiver. I'm calling it now. Whoever wants to hop on the bandwagon, come join me.
Listen, he was a dog at Missouri. Who's this quarterback, Brady Cook?
Yeah, well, and Cook was hurt a lot of this year. Luther Burden was probably top 15 last year, but dealt with a backup QB a good chunk of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
He's one of those guys that just always gets open.
Yeah.
Can be the next Wes Welker, Danny Amendola. Hit him over the middle.
Danny Amendola. Hey, I would love it. Wes Welker, Troy Brown, whoever. Every time, for some reason, I think of every time I think of the Cleveland Browns, I always think of the movie. Is it just called Draft Day?
Yeah, Draft Day.
And it's funny because it's like, I don't know why they picked the Browns. It's not a true it's not a true story. I didn't mind the movie, but it's just like, I don't know. It is what it is.
There's like the Browns have never had a good draft. Let's at least give them one.
Give them one.
Give them something.
Give them something.
Something to hope for.
I think McMillan. I'm gonna stamp it.
I'm gonna say Genty, surprise pick.
Oh,
Mason
wow,
Graham,
okay.
Michigan man.
Maybe that's who they wanted all along. You can't go wrong when you go with the trenches.
Man, Graham and Myles Garrett. That's gonna be tough to block.
Yes. I mean, that was that Ashton Genty right there. Now the question becomes, now we're at the Raiders. So the Raiders, who are they? Admir Abdullah? Is that who they're gonna be their running back? Who knows? Yeah, Michigan straight to Cleveland. That's he's just making his way south.
There was a lot of smoke the last few weeks about the Raiders getting Genty, but the last couple days it's been all Jaguars, Bears, somebody trading up for him. And I think I saw earlier today the Raiders were like plus 600 for Genty. So if you bet on that, you're probably feeling pretty good right now. But this
the
will be an
Raiders.
But this one makes no sense to me if they take Genty, because to me, if you're taking a running back in the first round, you better have a pretty complete team. Because you're seeing a lot of these teams like the Chiefs, they're going out there just scooping people off of waivers and in the 7th round and winning Super Bowls with those kind of guys. Like if you're adding an elite running back, you better have a complete team around him. And the Raiders have Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
They have just so many needs. To me, if they take Genty, it's going to be like when the Giants took Saquon Barkley. And yeah, he was great there, but the team stunk and he didn't elevate them.
No. Yep. And then he ended up going somewhere else and winning a Super Bowl somewhere else. So, when it comes down to it, I don't know. Could they go Shadir Sanders? I think is Geno Smith your answer? The answer to me is no.
No.
Just like the Giants, we say, is Russell Wilson the answer? No. But again, I think for the Giants, we want to stop the bleeding at quarterback. Let's put a Band-Aid on it. That Band-Aid, Russell Wilson. And then similar with a team like the Raiders, listen, Gardner Minshew's not our starting quarterback. We need to figure this out. We need someone. Pete Carroll, I'm familiar with. Geno Smith. Let's go with Geno Smith.
You think we could see McMillan here to the Raiders? Because they traded Devontae Adams.
They did. That's true.
They need a receiver.
And maybe they're confident in Geno Smith.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I'm not obviously going to rule that out, but I think I really don't know what the Raiders are going to do. I would tell you this: if it was the Raiders of old, they would be drafting the fastest wide receiver in the draft.
Matthew Golden,
Hayward Bay. But that's what they would. Is Golden the fastest? He ran like a 4.
He ran like the 4.3.
Yeah. I thought it was like a 4.2 something.
It might have been. He was fast.
They're
a wild card though. I feel like the Raiders and the Falcons, they literally can do anything.
Yeah, and so we'll see. What does Pete Carroll want? How much longer is Pete Carroll going to be doing this? Vivek, 2-foot putt for birdie, 100% in the end. Take the birdie all day.
Thank goodness the Patriots aren't Rory McIlroy, and they're going to hit that putt.
Yeah.
There's no second chances like there were in the Masters.
No, that's right. Well, and here's the deal too. Listen, we're golfing Saturday. It's my first time out this year. I hope I can sink my 2-foot putts. We'll see. Wow. Ashton Genty will be the number 1 overall draft pick in any dynasty fantasy draft. He's going to be great. I know there's a lot of people on here right now that, or at least that watch my channel, that loved Ashton Genty, are probably incredibly bummed that the Patriots passed on him. But again, Ashton Genty, an absolute dog. Again, I think he should have won the Heisman. I respect the fact that he stayed loyal to Boise State when he could have went anywhere else. You know, college football these days, people are just, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? He grew up, I believe, in a military family, and loyalty was a huge, huge thing for the Genty family. So good for him. Wish him all the luck in, I keep wanting to say Oakland, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
I still think, though, it's like buying gold rims and putting it on like a 98 Honda or something like that. He is, I would probably say he's the second best player in this draft besides Abdul Carter, but when you have as many needs as the Raiders do, he's not. They're going to be a 4-win team next year. He's not going to change that.
No. Yeah, who's their number 1 wide receiver?
Gosh.
Jacoby?
Yeah. Former Patriot.
Former Patriot. Dang, Jacoby, come on, son.
Genty's pretty excited to go to Vegas. I don't think he's excited to be a Raider, but he's excited he gets to live in Vegas.
Hey, I like the American flag too on his wrist right there.
Respect.
Yeah. Again, military family. Emmitt Smith. Look at that comparison.
It's not a bad comparison. The only difference is Emmitt Smith was on the best team in the NFL in the 90s, and Genty's on a dumpster fire of an organization.
Yeah. Again, you need to win games. You need weapons in the NFL. Ashton Genty is a weapon. You know, line-wise, they're in a much better spot on both sides of the defensive offensive line than the Patriots. Again, you got to protect your assets like Drake May. Again, Ramondre Stevenson, if he can get fumbles under control, is going to be fine, in my opinion. The Patriots will draft a running back at some point in this draft. I have already said that multiple times.
And it's a super deep class.
Yeah, very deep. Very deep.
3rd or 4th round.
So we'll see what happens moving forward.
Jets up next?
Is it the Jets?
I think it's Jets, Panthers, Saints.
That sounds right.
Tyler Warren. This could be Shador.
At the Jets? They just paid Justin Fields.
It's really a 1-year. It's like a 1-year deal, and they could cut him for a couple mil loss. But the Jets are another team like the Raiders and Falcons, who it's like I wouldn't put anything past them.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I mean, they'll fly their quarterback across the country just to reject him.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn, I respect that. I respect that. Oh, that's pretty cool. His alma mater celebrating all the high school kids. Ashton Genty. What a pick.
He's going to be a fun player.
He will be. He will be. All right, Jets on the clock. Who do you guys think? Who are they going for?
They could use a tackle, right? This could maybe be Membu. I could see Tyler Warren.
What about Shadur?
I could see Shadur. I think he's definitely not the most likely, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Commercials, everybody. Commercials.
Who would have guessed a couple years ago that a team would be getting rid of Aaron Rodgers to take on Justin Fields? The NFL, you just never know what's going to happen.
Not me. I would have listen. I still think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up getting a shot somewhere. Again, you look at a place like the Steelers. Hey, you draft Shadur Sanders or you don't. A lot of speculation around that. But say you do, you're going to throw him right in there right away. Listen to their remember when they got Kenny Pickett and that whole thing? Now, I would argue Kenny Pickett or Shadur Sanders is much better than Kenny Pickett, but we will see moving forward.
Yeah, I think we all know right now if the season started, the Browns are starting Kenny Pickett and the Steelers are starting Mason Rudolph, and that's not going to happen.
No.
One of them is getting Aaron Rodgers, probably the Steelers, and one of them might trade for Kirk Cousins. But like they're not rolling into the season with Pickett and Rudolph. Not with how competitive that division is. Oh, the Jets pick is in. It's going to be interesting to watch Greenberg react to it because he's a big Jets fan and he'll wear his emotions on his sleeves.
Tyler Warren. That's what I'm going.
Membu.
Lineman.
Got to protect Fields, the franchise.
The franchise. You got to start from the line.
Yeah, Fields is excited. Lord knows he spent 3 years running for his life on the Bears. He's happy to get a left tackle. All right, Panthers on the clock. A lot of people talking pass rusher for them. Because they just traded
Walker?
Brian Burns. Yeah, I think Walker's probably the guy. They traded Brian Burns for a bag of footballs.
Pick already in. Maybe they already knew. Boom, let's roll. Again, I actually really like Bryce Young.
Who do they have at wideout? Could they go McMillan?
They have the one. Don't they have the one guy from Louisiana that like talk like that? What's that? It's killing me. You had Brian Thomas, and then you have is it Leggett?
Thomas is Jacksonville.
I know, but I'm saying that he was drafted the same year.
Oh yeah.
Wow, brain fart.
Xavier Leggett and
Leggett,
Adam
yeah.
Thielen.
See, I had it.
But
Thielen's done. He's done.
He's one hit over the middle away from retirement.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, that's another issue. You look at Bryce Young and then CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud actually had some like actual talent around him where like you look at Bryce Young and it was like you had Bryce Young. Who else did you have?
This could be Tyler Warren. Who's their tight end? I don't think
they drafted a tight end last year. He's out of his last name's Sanders.
Jatavion
Sanders. I can't remember where he went to college. But Jatavion Leggett, yep.
He was from Texas.
Yeah, there we go. But I remember I drafted him in he's on my dynasty team. Fun fact. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to keep it simple. I think I keep saying McMillan. I'm going to go McMillan. Is that 2 years in a row they get a wide receiver?
Xavier Leggett was second round.
That's true.
I don't think their Bears had their pick last year. They didn't have a first round pick.
Get weapons for Bryce Young. Or pass rusher.
Yeah,
I think it's pass rusher.
That's what's tough is they have no defense. But it's also like you got to give Bryce Young a fair chance. You bet your frame. I mean, they traded Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and other picks to get Bryce Young. You got to give him a fair chance. Nick, I think you're right. I think the Pats might trade it. Like if you can move up a few spots and get that fifth-year option, I think it's worth looking into. But you really are only going to do it for a position that you're paying a lot of money to, like a wide receiver. That's why I think I said Luther Burden earlier, or maybe like an Emeka Egbuka. You're not going to trade in to get that fifth-year option for a player like a linebacker who's not going to be owed that much money when they go out on the open market. It's going to be a wide receiver or a pass rusher or somebody who's going to be expensive. But I think for the Panthers, I'm going McMillan. You bet the entire franchise on Bryce Young. Benched him for Andy Dalton at one point, which is pretty pathetic. But you gotta give him a chance and get him some weapons. Maybe Tyler Warren. It could be, but it's got to be a weapon.
Could be Tyler Warren. I think weapon. Again, in a rough division. A division that, in all reality, I guess you have the Bucks, but the Bucks haven't been like. Yeah.
Every team in that division is beatable. Like the Bucks are the best, but every team in that division is beatable.
100%. All right, I'm finalizing it. I'm going Carolina Panthers. Oh, I forgot about Loveland, too. I'm going Jalen Walker, actually. I'm taking that back. Yeah, they need a weapon. I'm going Jalen Walker, though. Get you that edge. Oh,
McMillan.
it is. Wow. What a pick by the Panthers. Getting weapons for Bryce Young, that's the big thing. He's going to do well.
A lot of people have talked the Saints here at number 9 as a possible Shedeur Sanders option.
The question becomes, does Kellen Moore want Shedeur Sanders? My guess is no.
I don't know, though. Like, if you look at Kellen Moore's career, would you say his best success came with Dak Prescott? I feel like Shedeur is a similar player. Like, good accuracy. He's not going to have an elite deep ball, but, like, he is good at getting the ball in his players' hands. Can scramble a little if need be, but isn't necessarily a running quarterback. He's a similar player to Dak. I could see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a no. I'm just saying I don't know. We'll see. I could see that. I could see who do they have at tight end for the Saints?
Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, again, you get someone like Tyler Warren who can essentially do it all. Very versatile. This new type of tight end we see. What a pick. There was a point that, a lot of people said it's possible that McMillan goes to, the Patriots, get him playing with. Oh, whoa. Get him playing with Drake May, make a great connection.
Hey, Jesus comes first. I would love to hear why you don't like the Will Campbell pick. So, like I said, I don't think it's, nobody's going to be talking about it a ton. It's not a super exciting pick, but you got to protect the franchise. Drake May is the franchise right now. You got to protect him. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
As well, Nick, where do you live in North Carolina? Do you live in-state, inland, or you live more towards the coast? Here we go. Saints. Pick is in. Okay, I'm going Saints. There goes my hat. I'm going
Walker here.
Get a edge rusher.
Although, who's their quarterback? Derek Carr, and he's out for the year?
Maybe it is Shedeur. Maybe it is Shedeur.
I wouldn't want to come into the year with Spencer Rattler as my QB.
No, gosh, no. Gosh, no. Not if you're Kellen Moore, that's for sure. Okay, you know what? I'm going Shedeur. All right,
that's a big
I'm going
call.
Shedeur.
That's a bold call.
I'm going with it. You've convinced me.
McMillan says sky's the limit for the Panthers. I don't think he's watched a lot of Panthers football. He wouldn't say that if he's watched them.
They definitely did better than Bryce Young's rookie year, but
they made a Super Bowl once. Jake Delhomme.
I know. They made a Super Bowl twice.
Chris Winkie. Oh, Cam Newton.
Yeah. Old Scam made a business decision, didn't jump on the ball.
It's bold to make a business decision in the Super Bowl. It's interesting seeing all the NFL teams and like the messaging they have in their rooms. Saints are out here preaching autism acceptance. I think I saw the Browns talking about women's flag football.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder if they were asked to do that. Who knows? Here we go. Wow.
Calvin
Okay.
Banks.
You get offensive tackle. That's 3 off the board. They got to protect Spencer Rattler.
Protect Spencer Rattler at all costs.
Oh, he said, "Mama." That's sweet. It's always fun to see him get all excited. Sorry, I realized I still had the Jet thing up here. Yeah, I don't know either of those. I know Virginia Beach, obviously, but the Littleton Lake, I don't know that area. Calvin Banks, though, some people had him high on the list. Bears. Now the big question with the Bears is, listen, they need an offensive line. What are they going to do? Pick his in?
Wow. Yeah, Bears rush into the board here. Personally, and they spent a lot on their offensive line. If one of the 3 big offensive tackles were there, I think they would have taken them. Tyler Warren's interesting because Ben Johnson was so creative with the Lions. I could see them having a fun package for him. But I'd also imagine, I doubt they thought every single pass rusher besides Abdul Carter would be on the board. I could see them going with Walker here too.
You have Walker and Sweat.
But yeah, they rushed up to the podium. They knew what they were doing. Gosh, Calvin Banks still crying. He's
Emotional.
emotional.
I get it. You have to protect Spencer Rattler, and he scrambles.
He knows how much that means.
Yeah. He knows how much he's going to have to work. That lady in the black's wearing a lot of makeup.
I feel like Laura Rutledge was like looking at Dorothy's slipper and was like, make me an outfit that looks like that.
Hashtag Wizard of Oz.
May 14th schedule reveal. That's going to be a big day.
All right. All right. Wow. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, greatest season of our lives.
Oh, there comes the booze for the Bears. Do I think the Patriots will trade back in? It's a possibility, but it just all depends on what they want. I'm going Jalen Walker.
Well, they got to shout out Mongo before they make the pick.
Bear down. That's pretty funny.
Wow.
What a pick.
Loveland over Tyler Warren.
Listen, Ben Johnson probably watched a lot. Listen, he lived in Michigan for a while.
I'll say this as a Michigan fan. I would have expected the Bears to take Tyler Warren because he's so versatile. Like Penn State, they would line him up at QB. They would line him up at running back, and Ben Johnson's so creative. I kind of felt like they would go with him, but Colson Loveland, when he was a sophomore, was elite at Michigan. And he was elite last year, but he
didn't
had
have a quarterback.
The worst QB I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, I think every highlight we're about to see is probably going to be J.J. McCarthy. They're just not even going to show his junior season because every pass sailed over his head.
What a pick.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shock. People are going to hate on it, but dude's a baller.
Man. And we got the 49ers pick in. My guess, the 49ers. Man, I don't even know. I'd have to look at what they were, what their needs were. Romo Dunzo, Colston Loveland,
Cole Kmet, DJ Moore,
DeAndre Swift. You still believe in him? The Patriots offense has gotten worlds better this offseason. And that is a big thanks to, I forgot he's from Idaho, Loveland.
Oh, yeah.
Have gotten worlds better. all thanks to Mike Vrabel, in my opinion. Anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys watching. First 10 picks. Watch out for a video tomorrow, probably afternoon. I'm going to be dropping one as well. Hopefully we trade back in. If we trade back in, then we got more fun stuff to talk about. But I think Will Campbell was a wise pick. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. Paul, any thoughts?
I'm officially calling it tonight. I think they're trading back in for Luther Burden.
All right, let's go.
Dude's a stud. Get that fifth-year option. Give Drake May an elite weapon. That's my official prediction.
You heard it here first, folks. That's Paul. I'm Aaron. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll talk later. Appreciate you guys.
Go Pats.
Go Pats. Peace. Boom.